All right, hey, Dave Knight here at 123daytrade.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Today was Friday, April 6, 2018. I wasn't able to trade the morning session. I had a sick son and unfortunately wasn't able to take advantage of the down move that happened, but I was able to catch the afternoon session for a few ticks today and start chipping away at the loss that I've created over the last couple of days, especially yesterday's loss. I'm okay with I think it was I got the account on Tuesday. Yeah, Wednesday I was okay with that, the crude oil inventory trade. But yesterday I could have traded that better. And and honestly, what I can say is that I believe the I let the negative affect a little too much, knowing that I'm a superstitious type of guy, and I'm trading. I've got to own it, right? I got to own it like a badge of honor. And I'm trading the devil account. And every dollar that I can hopefully take away from this account is a dollar that, as a Christian, I can do something good with it in the future. So I've got to think of it in a different way of thinking. Um, as far as the market went today, from the high of 63.79. We went down a 10p move today, so that's actually pretty good as we think about into next week. So hopefully we'll continue the downward onslaught into next week, Monday into Tuesday. Let's hope, and we'll have some good. As far as trades today, as I look at the morning session, if I would have been able to stay with the short trade, it was probably worth about 102 ticks today. Uh, whether I would have been able to win the first one, I probably would have lost the first short that I would have got in, and maybe I would have only been break even on a long. But the short I believe that I would have caught would have been the short at 63.41, and then coming out at 62.39 for 102 ticks. So this was a day that could have easily been playing in my wheelhouse. As far as my trading went today, I was able to pull out 16 ticks on the trading on the afternoon session. I was able to catch the move that went down below the 6,200 level, and I think the low at the time that I saw was 61.81, I believe. Yeah. Oh, I said 60. Yeah, 62.81, I believe, was the low. I was able to catch that move in the afternoon session. I had one loss for, I believe, 10 ticks. I was down 14 ticks overall before I caught the winning trade, and was able to pull out. Was that 16 plus 14? Was that 30? Yeah, 30 tick winner on the winner, and I was able to just kind of, two ticks here, 8 tick loss here, and so forth and so on. Kind of like the way I was running with an 8 tick stop loss today, on the 8 to 9 ticks, depending upon where that number would be. I don't like being on a 5. I'd move to a 6, and so forth and so on. So today was a better trading day. I was able to. I looked at it as, that's until it proves otherwise. Let's continue to see if we can catch a short. The market finally broke down there at the last part of the session here, and I was able to catch a move, a 30 tick winner, and have a net positive day of about 16 ticks less commission costs. So I've taken the negative 850 account and moved it to roughly about a little under minus 700. So I hopefully I'll just keep chipping away at this loss and move the other way. I have a new framework, a new set of mine. Hold on. Let me grab my handy dandy notebook here. I picked up a book from Napoleon Hill. I've had it for a while, but I can't think of the name right now. But I wanted to read some of the things that I wrote in yesterday, so that you can kind of get my So where do I want to start? People who are definite in plan and purpose never accept temporary defeat. They just do more to succeed. And I wrote down work harder. This is Napoleon Hill. Any human who can be definite in his aims and plans can make life hand over whatever is wanted. Definite of purpose plus definiteness, excuse me, I'm terrible there, of plan. Let's see here. What else did I write? I wrote down here, I know God is real. I know I'm a good trader. I know I'm a successful trader. So I'm giving a lot of positive affirmations in my book. I know I will succeed in trading because I know I'm good at making the correct decisions. With no uncertainty, I will succeed. You must become what you think about with 100% belief in the I know. So this is some of the notes that I wrote down here. So I've got to, um, so I wrote down a bunch of I knows. I know. And I started with I know God is real. And then I went down, and I just, and this whole thought process was because of what I wrote on my last video yesterday, being being in the devil account. So my plan is to wear it like a badge of honor, and every dollar that I can take away in the 666 account is a devil. It's a dollar the devil doesn't get. Is what I'm looking at right now. As inconsistent as it may seem, you will learn more about how to succeed from the failures than you will from the so-called successes. They will teach you what not to do. My experience has taught me that a man is never quite so near success as when that which he calls failure has overtaken him, for it is on occasions of this sort that he is forced to think. If he thinks accurately and with persistence, he discovers that so-called failure usually is nothing more than a signal to rearm himself with a new plan or purpose. Most real failures are due to limitations which men set up in their own minds. If they had the courage to go one step further, they would discover their error. This is your testing time. You have been reduced to poverty and humiliated in order that you might discover your other self. Now, Napoleon Hill talks about his other self in this book. His other self is, and the two things that he's combating in this point is fear versus faith is what he talked about. So he said that you have to have the other self is that other self, the faith part of it that just believes in the I know. I know this is going to work out. I know. So it's just don't let the doubt and the seeds of fear and all that creep into your being. Yeah, you're going to have losing days. Yes, you're going to have bad trading days. You can't think that everything you're going to touch is and trading is gold. So I mean, obviously, you got to be realistic, but you also have to believe that you are on the right path. And belief, comes before all the other things kick in. So faith, belief, so the I know that I will succeed. So that's what we as traders, I'm telling you, that's our big fight goes up inside this head. And if you think it's not, then I mean, obviously you're a lot better than that. You're probably close. Like was that one show that my wife watches, the Goldbergs? The dad says you're a robot. So if you're like a robot, not a robot, he always calls it a robot. If you're like a robot, then you're a lot better off than 90-something% out there. But and I know what my problem is. My problem is that I allowed, when I saw that that account number kick in, 666, it's like I was self-defeating myself. I'm thinking, I don't want to trade this account. I don't want this. So in the back of my head, I'm thinking, here I am trying to I was so excited to get my funded account, and then I see my login information, and I look at my account number, and I'm thinking, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I mean, I asked Mick, can I change my account numbers? And maybe I should have asked them before they assigned it, so before I traded it. But he said, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to, you can't do it. So I tried to get out of it. I don't want to trade this account. It's like, give me any number other than 666 is my thought process. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? They assigned me, Dave Knight, the 666 account. Really? So I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? What kind of, how much unluck do I have to have, and how many times does that have to go through that, here I am doing my best and I get the 666 account. I'm going, come on. That shouldn't even be there. It's like the 13th floor of a building. I'm still old enough to remember that when I got in the elevator, some buildings didn't even have the 13th floor. Yeah, there was a 13th floor. They just didn't put it on the elevator. It said 12 and it went straight to 14. So there was no 13th floor in a building. So why was that? Unlucky number 13. I like 13 though. So I guess maybe I got to own this like a badge, right? A badge of honor to be able to get over the thoughts that are going in my head right now. Once again, I believe today could have been a really good trading day if I could have traded the morning. I wasn't able to. I had to take one of my youngest son to the doctors today, and it just didn't work out as far as a morning session. By the time I got in front of the computer, that move was over, and so I had to wait to find another move, and I believe that there was going to be a continuation of the short, and that's what I took advantage of today. So I was able to, the winning trade was able to pull out 30 ticks, but I'm telling you, it was probably worth at least 102 today. If I'd have caught that morning session today for 102 ticks, then I wouldn't even have looked at the afternoon session. So I was looking at a continuation of a move, which I was right. So, and that just goes back to my overall overriding philosophy of the path of least resistance is the way that you want to trade. So the path of least resistance in the afternoon was a continuation of the short move. And that's what I traded. I traded in the path of least resistance and taking that move basically from, I think it was around the 41 level or 30. I mean, I got one of the trades that I got stopped out on, I'll tell you this. I had a stop at 51, it went to 52, and then it went down from there. So it looks like it's going to be one of those trading accounts where I'm going to have to fight for every tick that I have. So I feel fortunate I was able to pull out, but I stayed inside. Today I came in with a better I can tell you I didn't have a good attitude. I probably shouldn't even have taken on the trading account, but maybe I needed to go through the negative before I could get to the positive part of my mind now. I'm in a good place now. So, I'm down about 700 bucks. I got 1490. So I've got about half of the account still left on the drawdown side. That's plenty of space to be able to dig my way out of this hole and go green, basically. Get out of the red and go green. I also wrote this today, or yesterday I wrote this on the 5th. Is prayer a part of your life? Do you trust God? Do you acknowledge in order for your plan to be successful, you must take action? This is all Napoleon Hill talking. My other self, I've paraphrased a lot of it, but this is Napoleon Hill's thoughts. And by the way, if you don't have, this is in my bookshelf. And I don't know if you have a copy of this book, but you need to have it. I read this book probably once every year or so. I don't know if you can see all of I'm going to put this in front here. And, if you've got, I don't know if you can see all the little highlights and notes and stuff. I've written in this book over and over and over again. I don't know. It is what it is at some point. I am a negative person sometimes, and I allow the negative to creep into my being. I personally need the positive self-motivation stuff. God, I hope that you don't need it. But if you are a self-defeatist the way that I am, then you have to defeat self-defeat with positive affirmations. You got to be able to say the I knows of the world, to get the fear and the greed component out of your trading. Don't worry about each individual day. Every day has enough trouble of its own, as the Bible says, right? So don't worry about tomorrow, because each day has it has enough trouble of its own inside that day. So trying to live in the moment. I guess that is my best advice when it comes to trading, and especially as it relates to day trading. All right, so my other self, and then I wrote down faith, has taught me to concentrate upon my purpose and to forget about the plan by which it is to be attained when I pray. What I am saying is the power that What I am saying is the power which translates one's thoughts or desires into realities has its source in an infinite intelligence. Now, Napoleon Hill goes on to talk about infinite intelligence an awful lot. He, in his books, wouldn't say the word God. Maybe it's the time of life that he was in. Maybe not. I don't know exactly why he wrote that way, but it's God. Infinite intelligence is God, or your version of what you consider your God. So for me, it's pretty simple. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. So God is the father figure, the Abba, as we are allowed to call him in the book, Daddy. So, which is really cool. If you think about that, I mean, we have a Father in heaven that we can call Abba. So we can actually call our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name, right? We can call him Abba. So we can actually call him Daddy, which is kind of cool when you think of it that way. So we do have a Daddy in heaven that's, and that's comforting in some ways to know that at least, you know, then that's my faith. My faith is saying the infinite intelligence can help me in my times of need, in my times of dread, in my times of fear, in my times of courage that I need, when I need courage, excuse me. All that, can feed into the negative components that we allow. And I get into the gunk sometimes, and I know what I'm like. And then I pull myself out of it, and then I just wish I could stay that positive frame of mind. And I don't know why I mean, it's life, I guess. But, the more and the older I get, the more I realize each day, it's a blessing, right? When your feet hit the floor, it's a blessing. You got one more day to do something positive on this day. I mean, you've got a chance to do something and do something good for your family or for someone that you care about. So it's one more day to count your blessings and say, you know what? It's not so bad. You can always look around and find people that are worse off than you. Okay, so back to it. Pray to be worthy of which you already have in your possession. Ask for guidance and wisdom. The quickest path up is to think on family, friends, and blessings of the past already received to lift you up. Do not confuse the word belief with the word wish. The two are not the same. Everyone is capable of wishing for financial or spiritual advantages, but the element of faith is the only sure power by which a wish can be translated into a belief and a belief into reality. And I wrote this down. God, wish, belief, reality, God. So you got to get to, that was my thought process to get from, we all wish for something. I wish this would happen. You know, if I could have three wishes, well, I want every wish I have wished to be true. We've all thought about how can we get around the three wishes and the genie in a bottle at some point in our life, right? Why can't I live? I want to live tomorrow over again. Or can I go back in time and relive this over again and do it right this time? I mean, yeah, wouldn't that be wonderful if we could do that? But, the only thing that we're guaranteed right now is a second that we're breathing right now. That's the only guarantee we have. When we lay our head down at nighttime, there's no guarantee that we're going to wake up that next morning. Tomorrow is not given to us. Each day is its own gift. So enjoy each day is what I'm getting at. That's what Napoleon Hill's talking about. So the state of mind known as faith opens up a sixth sense with sources of power and information far surpassing any available through the five physical senses. There comes to your aid a strange power like a guardian angel who can open the temple of wisdom if you allow it. This sixth sense comes as near as to being a miracle with prayer and openness. And then I wrote down, there is a God and I know he lives. So that was my yesterday. After I wrote all that down, then I did that 2-minute video about I've got the 666 account because I prayed on it. I gave it over to God and I said, you know what? I can't control things I can't control. Lord, please lift this burden, that this superstitious belief that I've got right now about and you might think it's silly. Probably most of you do think it's silly, but I didn't. I mean, it was a sense of dread that I had once I saw that first time I saw my login information and I had to put in my account number and the last 3 digits, I had to type in 666. And every time I log into that account, it says the account number and the last 3 digits, 666. It negatively impacted me because I don't want to trade that account. I want to trade 665, 667, 669, 661, anything other than 666, any other number. I don't want the Damien, the Omen. I don't want all that crap. It's not what I asked for. But own it. And if I can get my way out of the account that I'm in right now, if I can do some good with this 666 account, then, I don't put myself in any of that, as far as, I don't know if you know this about me, but I try to stay humble. I have it on my book over there. I have it on my, I guess I got a little pen over there. I know it's a mess over there. I'm still cleaning my office, but over there, if you look underneath that big old duck over there, those who humble themselves will be exalted. Matthew 23:12. And I wrote down some of my notes. Stop trying fake outs and up moves. If I see a fake out and down moves, then how do I train myself to see them in up moves? So some of my notes are over there as I look at how I go about my trading session and my trading. So that's my big board over there. And I guess we can spin it around and I'll show you my vision board. So there's my vision board back there that I have all this stuff from my kids and whatnot. And also things that I want and things I've got and things I've been able to pull off that board. And then I keep adding to it. And I keep taking off of it and I keep adding to it. And I keep putting things on it. So I gave you a tour of my office right now. It was a mess right now. I'm in the spring cleaning mode, so I've been shifting all kinds of things around, trying to eliminate things I need. Eliminate things I don't need and keep things that I don't, and throw away things I don't need. One of my friends told me that what I need to do is have a box and every year throw everything that I think I need into that box. And if I don't go back into that box after a year, pitch it. Well, I got a lot of junk in this office, and I was able to go downstairs and eliminate a lot of crap downstairs. Now I'm trying to work my way into this office, into this space right now, to eliminate a lot of stuff. So most of everything you see in this office that you saw right there, especially if you saw the floor underneath the vision board, there's all kinds of trading material that I've brought up. If you look at behind me, I've got my bookcases that are behind me with all my trading books and history books and all kinds of other material that I have that I to keep me moving in the right direction. At least that's my thought process. So um, I know I haven't shared my room for a while, so if you did see it, then you saw the mess that isn't it. And this is my room. My wife is such a minimalist as things go. And I'm a pack rat, and we're just kind of a perfect match when it comes to this. But she's not allowed in this room to remove anything. So this is the one room in the house that, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me pan over to my door. Let's pan over to the door. Oh, I went too far. I don't know if you can see the door over there on the side by the bookshelf, but there's a door by that green chair that I sit in occasionally. My green lazy boy that I had prior to being married to her that I've kept, and I have a hard time throwing stuff away. I'm a pack rat, and um, I always think I'm going to need it again at some point, but it more times than not, I don't need any of it. So my goal into the spring is to clean up this room. Get another couple of those little big ass boxes from Walmart or the storage containers and start throwing stuff into those containers and take it downstairs or pull things downstairs and get this back into some semblance of an office again, because I've allowed a lot of stuff to accumulate in time, and I just never know what to keep and what not to keep, because I always think about, well, what about this and what about that? So what did Gann say here, or what did Wyckoff say here? And I'm pulling out and do you have a space in your house that you call an organized mess, and you know where everything is? This is my brain on drugs probably, right? But no, this is my brain. My brain is this kind of room that you just seen inside my head. But everything in here, I know where everything is. And I guess that's how my brain works too. And being ADHD, I have to pull things out and read it again, trying to remember some of the things that I'm like, wow, yeah, that's right. And I sometimes I read stuff that I've written years ago, and I think, what the hell did I write that for? I don't remember writing that, but there it is in black and white, and it helps me keep my trading strategy fresh and new, and allows me to continue to grow as a trader, especially as a day trader. So, all right, that's it. That's your Friday chit chat talk today. Yeah, Kip, I went off on a tangent, but hey, it's what makes my channel kind of interesting and people come back for more, because you know what? You just never know what I'm going to say next. So today was a positive day. I'm pulling myself out of the hole. Hopefully next week I get into the go green, get in the black and go green. So get out of the red. So that's the goal for next week. I hope you have an awesome week. I hope you had an awesome week. I look forward to your comments below. Give me a like, smash that like button, and let's beat these algorithms that YouTube's been enforcing upon a lot of us right now. All right, that's it. God bless. Take care. I'll see you in the next video I put together. Bye for now.